Hi. Yeah, of course. So there's a lot of ways I could take this question. I'm just going to be as straightforward as I can about it. So the things that she's talking about are very valid. They're very real. Like, she's right. That whole video is great. I love the whole thing. That's why I stitched it so that people go back and watch it. But what she says at the beginning is that a lot of people get this advice or they hear these things. So if you've been to a Chinese medical doctor, like there's a joke. Anytime somebody meets me, if they've been to somebody in Chinese medicine and they're like drinking something cold, they go, "Don't yell at me." Because they know that that's something that Chinese doctors, like Chinese medical doctors, harp on, like things like this, right? Like we'll make comments about it. That's one of the reasons we over diet with people. But what she's saying in the video is that people don't explain it, right? And typically that's because there's not enough time, because we have to run a business, we have to treat you. But the truth is that the benefit of the treatment comes in understanding the knowledge underneath, because then you have the why. And so you can actually begin to make life changes, these small life changes, because you understand that these really make a difference over time. They're about little tiny habits that can shift your health completely. And that's what her video is about. So she's like, most people won't explain this to you. And so therefore people don't do it. So what I was saying was, what she's saying is true. And that this is why I created Patreon, because Patreon is a place that, other than paying me like, money every day or every week or whatever to learn this stuff, which you can do, I have created this free space where you can go and get this knowledge, because culturally, we don't think this way. Culturally, like in our households, right, we know Stouffer's, we know Kraft mac and cheese, we know McDonald's, we know fast food versus a Sunday roast, let's say, right? Like we have Sunday traditions, we have holiday. We don't have these inbuilt health codes about how to live your life, about different ways that we all kind of practice together, that these more ancient traditions, these more ancient cultures and ethnicities hold. This country is an amalgamation of all kinds of ethnicities and religions, and when you come here, you're expected to be whitewashed. You're expected to lose your culture and to assimilate to American culture, which is not old, which is based in very particular people's ideas that are typically based around consumerism and capitalism, which is the antithesis to cycles, to rhythms, to natural cycles and rhythms. We want everything to be all the same all the time, right? We want to be able to eat all the same foods all the time, and we can, because we can ship it in from all over the world. We want to be able to do whatever exercise we want at any time of the year. We want to be able to keep consistent, right? Keep the same muscle. The American culture is about expansiveness, individuality, right? Manifest destiny, like just being able to just screw nature. Right? We don't have these built-in old things they're about living in concert with nature. We don't culturally get that, most of us, unless our parents or grandparents still practice these things and they've been passed down to us. And that happens here, but not as an American culture. So when a Chinese doctor, Korean doctor, Japanese doctor in one of those cultures says, "Hey, go do these things," you already understand why, because your grandma told you, and your auntie told you, and your sister, and you grew up this way, and your mom, you already know, you already get why. The doctor doesn't have to explain why, because they all know why. And here we don't know why. It just sounds like weird advice. It just sounds like something weird that the Chinese doctor said to me. And so we lose 20 years of our stomach vitality and our kidney vitality and our pancreatic vitality, because we don't know that drinking ice water every single day is really bad for us, right? Because we don't understand, why did somebody like me say that? Now, I'm an educator, so I always educate my patients, but there's such limited time, even for people who pay. I can't do it all. And I genuinely want people to get the benefits of this medicine. And the benefits of the medicine aren't just in receiving acupuncture and taking herbs when you're sick. It's about carrying the habits of holistic medicine into your life. And they're so simple. They're so small, and they can shift things in such a profound way when they are understood and applied. So the link is, I created Patreon to explain these things, to teach these things, and as a place for people to ask questions. So I'm trying to get 1 million followers on there, and if they are all free, I am doing my job. I want a change in education and awareness around these things, and we just don't carry them culturally, but we can learn them, and we can understand them, and we can apply them differently, because they will be applied differently. If you live in a different climate, if you're more dry and damp, or if you're more cold and dry, or you're cold and damp where you live. Like, depending on where you live, these habits are going to be different. And that's a part of the knowledge too, right? So it's this awareness that the outside affects the inside, and that we have a lot of control over that. Okay. Patreon. Does that make sense? Let me know if not.